Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
All right, welcome to the Season 4, Episode 2 podcast, two kind of. I mean, we still have some lost episodes that we're going to find at some point. But we have with us a couple of freshmen and new to the podcast room here in our studio. Welcome, Amelia Holmes.
Hi.
Are you pretty excited?
Yeah.
Good. Like on a level of 1 to 10, what do you think?
10?
10, that's good.
Wow.
And freshman Carly Lang. Don't call me Lange.
Okay. Hi.
Welcome.
Is this your first times ever on a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Daughter of an ex-student of mine just a few years ago.
Neighbor of mine.
Neighbor of, yes.
I've known Carly probably since she was in
Elementary school.
second grade, third grade. Yeah. So.
Small world.
Yep.
So today, we're going to talk about two main topics that you guys came up with, which I like these topics, and we could probably talk for a long time. And I brought it up to my third and fourth hour class, and man, they were fired up about it. One of them would be the bathroom situation and the fact that we have some bathrooms that are locked pretty much throughout the day. And then also about our parking lot issue and how big of a pain in the butt it is to get out of the parking lot and sometimes come into the parking lot in the morning. So, Carly, you want to start? Maybe
Sure.
Let's talk about the bathroom situation.
Okay, so I understand why they would lock it with the boys starting the fire last year, but one of the big issues is the one that is locked on the upstairs is the one that I tend to go to, and I feel like a lot of students, it's on the way to their classes and it's most convenient. But with the times they are locking it, it's difficult, especially with the short amount of passing time we have.
4 minutes to get to class.
Yeah. It might be hard to get from one classroom all the way to that, like the farthest bathroom, and then to your whatever hour. And then another issue I see with it is if a student is in a classroom and they start to maybe not feel super well and they need to go to the bathroom, if they get into that hallway expecting to be able to go into the bathroom and it's locked, that could have a mess in the hallway.
Okay.
And can you tell us when it is typically not available or closed?
A lot of the times I notice it is during they lock it towards the end of third hour, and then I don't know when it gets unlocked. And then the one near the cafeteria is locked 15 minutes before the end of the day. The ones near the choir classroom are locked most of the day, so when I'm in choir, I have to go all the way to the one near the cafeteria. And then the one in the downstairs hallway, I'm not down there very often, but every
Downstairs,
time.
middle hallway? Okay.
I don't know how often that one's locked.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know why they had done this in particular? I'm going to defend our administration a little bit here because I understand it. But
Well, Carly said that she understands, but you talked about the situation where we had someone set fire to some of the paper in there, and that created a problem. But that's not the only reason, obviously. What are your other thoughts about the reasoning behind locking those bathrooms during portions of the day?
Do you have anything, Amelia?
I'm not completely sure about this, but possibly the smoking. I mean, I get it. It's harder, I guess, is the idea to do that in the bathrooms when most of them are locked. But then again, there are going to be ones that are open, and kids are still going to do it either way.
Which, from my understanding, that still continues to happen, regardless of the fact that there are less bathrooms to do that in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Burgess?
What are my problems? Yeah.
No, what are you think the other reasons are?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just, I think it's a very difficult place to monitor. Really, I think we need to blame the original builders of Normal West and where they located these bathrooms because it isn't really in an ideal location.
For supervision.
Yeah, I don't think that the...
And bathrooms in general are difficult to supervise because obviously there's a privacy issue. And so you need to have some privacy, but then you also, it's a space that has unfortunately become not a free-for-all, but an area in which kids feel like they can act
Well,
like,
Yeah, there's not
However
another
they wanna
classroom
act.
down, especially up here. You know, downstairs they have the English office across the hall.
Right.
But up here, there's nothing around there. So there's just a lack of supervision and adults in that area just because there's nothing else there. So I think that's just, creates more headaches for them than it would be to just make the students go to
and
another
if we
bathroom.
could afford to have a bathroom supervisor for every single bathroom, I think things would be a little different, but that would be a pretty expensive endeavor.
Yeah.
And not a very fun
to do.
job to just sit at a bathroom all day. and
No, you
monitor.
couldn't pay me enough.
No.
I mean, I guess you could actually. There would be a dollar amount at which I'd be like, okay, I'll do that. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's not a fun gig to
No.
be doing that. Solutions.
A fire, no, a smoke detector. Maybe put one of those in there so if kids were to be stupid and put another fire in there,
Right.
it would be detected maybe a little
Okay.
quicker.
They also have vape detectors as well that you could use.
Mhm.
And I
Some
think
other
that would
schools
help.
I know like Tri-Valley has those. I think Bloomington High School may have those now as well. But that's another cost.
Yeah.
I'm sure those are not cheap, so.
Correct, but doing nothing sometimes is also not very cheap as well. So, and I definitely get the fact that it's inconvenient, and I have people in my third or fourth hour that need to go to the restroom, and so they have to go all the way down, and so they're out of my class
Yeah,
for
for
longer.
our classes, they're going to be out more
Plus-
than 5 minutes usually.
Correct, because
Yeah.
we're all the way down here on the end.
There's
Yeah.
also like a few people who might have a bathroom accommodation with like maybe a 504 planned or an IEP. If
Mhm.
those are locked, it's getting in the way of that, which is supposed to allow them to have access to these bathrooms. But if there is a barrier preventing them, it could come back towards the school.
Right. I saw somewhere on Facebook about individual bathrooms. So they're, like individual stalls, but that can create an issue as well. Like, just, what if someone's in there and they pass out or something like it's weird being in a school because you have to have supervision, but in the bathrooms you also have to have privacy. So
Yeah. It's kind of a lose-lose situation.
Exactly.
Especially the way that it's set up here. It's
Yep.
just, I think that's a very difficult decision to make.
And I don't think that the administration is just randomly saying, you know what, if they're going to do that, then we're just going to shut down the bathrooms. I think it's a headache for them, and I think it's an issue for them that they're dealing with and trying to find a solution. I'm just not sure there's a good one.
And the unfortunate thing is that it is a very, very small number of students that ruin it for everyone.
Yeah.
Just like anything.
Yep.
It's a small number of people that typically ruin things for everyone.
It's like
So-
what my grandpa said yesterday when I was kind of talking about coming in here and talking about this. He said, they're punishing everybody. It's not like you can paint everybody with the same wide brush all at once.
True, but you also can't not do anything about it as well. And so that's one of the things that I think our society is really bad at right now is we have to react to the small number of people, because if we do nothing, then we get sued. So
Yep.
kind of lose-lose, like you said.
Yeah.
There's no good
Yeah.
scenario or no good situation. Dane, do you have any thoughts on this while you probably talk about the parking thing more than, okay.
All this being said, though, I do think you both made great points.
Yeah.
And sold your argument well. So now along those lines, how do you feel about first five, last five as one of our rules? That's one of the things that we've been told as teachers is to not let students go to the bathroom the first 5 hours of class and the last 5 hours of class. And I'm pretty
Classes
good
are
about
5
that.
hours long.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Good catch there, Carly.
With the first five, last five, I do understand that, like, you don't want the kids, like, leaving class, like, right after it starts, because then they could go, like, do something else, try to ditch class. But then again, I, for one, typically try to get to my class and then ask before the bell rings to try to get back before much starts going on. And with the first 5 minutes, the class doesn't really get starting to roll, so it is a pretty good time to go to the bathroom. But middle of the class, like, you're deep into whatever you're working on, so it's harder to get a good point where you can go.
Okay.
And then if you're not allowed to go in the last 5, if you're already done with stuff, then yeah, I definitely get your point there.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that in my accounting class, I try to start within a couple minutes.
So do I.
Because I feel like if I wait 5 minutes, then I've already lost
Yeah.
half
Yep.
the people.
Yep.
So I also think that it's done to create a situation where not a bunch of kids in the first 5 are like, hey, let's meet at the bathroom.
Okay, well, and that is when they ask to go the most, is at the beginning and at the end. So they're trying to, I think, avoid congestion in there too. There's only so many stalls, especially if this one's closed. And so I think they're trying to prevent them from being
Spread it
congested.
out over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carly, thoughts on that?
Like, I agree with doing the first 5 minutes because that gives you time to get settled, get to your seat, do attendance. And then the last 5, I feel like they could add a way to, you have to have all your work done in order to have a pass written. If you are still in the middle of work, you can't go, but if you are done and you're just kind of sitting there, then you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that the last 5 is kind of like, all right, we're winding the class down, and so many people are like, oh, let me go to the restroom. I don't even have to go to the restroom, but I want to go talk to my buddy. And
Yeah.
I will say that it's a congregation point. I don't know, it's pretty exciting, right?
Mhm.
The bathroom, but
Yeah.
that seems to be where people just like to meet and hang
Yeah.
out.
That's a very weird spot to hang out.
It
Agreed.
is.
I guess while we're on the bathroom topic too, Mr. Franz, I want to hear your thoughts on this. How do you feel about having to write a pass for every time someone goes to the restroom?
Yeah, as opposed to
different
how we
pass,
used to
rather
have it
than
is
having
just
a
like a
generic one?
generic permanent
Multi-use.
pass.
Permanent, yeah.
Sometimes permanent passes to the bathroom can kind of be disgusting.
Yeah.
You just, but it is a pain, but I also feel like it's necessary. Although I'll be honest, when you guys get a restroom pass, do you ever get stopped in the hallway and said,
Not really.
No,
Where's your
not
pass?
typically.
Only if it's if it were to be on a major testing day, But then again, you aren't
Yeah.
even allowed to go.
correct?
Exactly.
So for the most part, I'm writing passes and no one's checking them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's good to know.
Unless it's to the nurse or guidance, but other than that, in
Right.
the hallway.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Just another
Yeah.
thing
good.
related to bathrooms that I was curious about.
Well, let's
Shift some gears
shift
here.
gears here and let's
Okay.
talk about our wonderful parking situation.
Which you all haven't really gotten a chance to experience yet.
Well, you
Not
have
yet.
do you ride the bus or do you have
I
your
ride the
parents?
bus, and
I
then
ride
I
the
can
bus,
I can
yeah.
drive with a parent in the car. So sometimes I do get picked up, and then I
Okay,
drive.
but for the most part, you are a bus
Mhm.
rider. So yeah, the next few years will be more stressful. It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse 15 minutes before school, and it's a madhouse for 15 or 20 minutes after school.
Right.
What do you guys see as some of the biggest issues?
Probably the amount of time it takes to get into the parking lot and then get back out, because the lines are so long and you kind of have only those two entry and exit ways, which then
So
traffic
real-
just kind of
yeah.
backs up.
Yeah, and for students, for the most part, one entry and one exit, and that's
Yeah.
it.
And then another thing is when they are I notice it more at the end of the day when everybody's lined up to exit. There's those 2 lanes, one for turning left and one for turning right. When you're trying to leave from where a lot of the parking spaces are, everybody just drives. There's a way you can do where you let one person in and then you go. They don't seem to understand how to do that yet, and it drives my parents insane. It drives me insane because
It's
just
a me,
let us
me,
go.
me situation. Yeah, the whole idea of merging in the proper order is lost when it comes to leaving the Normal West parking lot, and I'm sure we're not alone in that.
Yep.
Dane, you got to get your microphone on because you're a driver. What's your thoughts on the, I know right now you're an athlete, so it doesn't really matter after school because you're here for practice, but when you're not an athlete and just coming in, I guess, in the morning, issues that you had to deal with?
Maybe you can give them tips too for when they get their license and start parking here.
Yeah, so I feel every morning I get pretty mad driving into the school because I'd say like the reason the parking lot is pretty bad is because of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really realize that you got to keep driving after you drop your kid off and just like sit there, or sometimes like the kids will take like 5 minutes to get out of the car, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Maybe they just want to watch their kids walk into school, you know?
Yeah,
Just
maybe.
Yeah,
relish-
that's not allowed in the school
But
parking lot drop-off
yeah,
line.
like the entrance, there's the two lines, the one where you can like actually drop your kid off and the other one where you're supposed to keep going. They'll take both of the lines, and so it just holds everything up. But what I do is I come from Rab and then turn onto Parkside. So I'll come in from like up north to school,
Mhm.
and so I'll enter through the back way so I can dodge most of that traffic.
Through the bus lane?
Uh,
Not really the bus
yeah.
lane, but the bus where
Yeah.
the buses come in.
And then, so I'll just go around back, so that saves me a good amount of time. But there's still, like, the buses can sometimes be annoying because they tend to go pretty slow. But I'd say that's, like, for me, the best way to get in. And then there's speed bumps there, which are sometimes annoying, but in the winter they remove them, so those are fine. And then leaving, I don't really have an issue with that too much because of the internship program and then
That's true.
sports.
That's
But
another reason why to join the
Yeah.
internship
There you go.
program or the
And
work program.
right?
You don't have to worry about when you leave school.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, in the past, I would always park in the senior parking lot, like, pretty much all the way on the edge, like, close to the where you would exit. So that way I can just hop in my car real quick and then get right in the line so I don't have to worry about trying to merge in. I'd say that's the best, works the best for me, but then, of course, there's always parents who don't realize how the parking lot works
Yeah.
and just kind of hold things up.
I think getting to school would be the most frustrating. I mean, after school, you're probably not as rushed if you're leaving school, but the just, you know, for me, I like being early to stuff. So that would really frustrate me if there was a chance of me potentially being late.
It's also like the other day there was a lot of snow on the ground, and like my parents both thought we should have done e-learning or late start because the roads were really snowy, very slippery. And then of course like our bus was like 35 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to drive in, and of course a lot of parents did the same, so there was like a line all the way down near Heartland. And
Oh,
we were
geez.
just trying to get in, and there was people trying to get out on the ice and just trying to like, it was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Any type of rain or inclement weather makes it 10 times worse, and it's already bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if we'll ever get stoplights, but why haven't we in the 30 years? Because it hasn't changed that much. Like the parking has been pretty much the same issues, and I know it's expensive to do lights, and it's basically only for 20 minutes a day. Well, it's
Yeah.
20 minutes twice a day that they would really be
And football games
used.
and basketball games. And,
correct.
Bloomington High School has them.
Yes, that is in a more populous area.
True.
And I think maybe that is why they have them, but it would be nice to have them because I think that would basically that stoplight runs for 5 minutes straight, just getting people out of,
Yep.
kids
Yep.
out of the parking lot.
Yep.
Although if you get them too fast out on the right side when you're going south on Parkside, then you've got that stoplight there.
Stop sign.
Stop sign, sorry, and it backs up
Yeah.
a little bit, but
Yep.
it would also be nice to have an exit right out into the interstate. I don't
Yeah.
think they're ever doing that, so that's not an option.
Another, like, a thing they could do that maybe would save a little bit of money would be a student run, almost like traffic directing, where they
They
put on
won't
a
do
yellow
so that.
vest.
That would be a logistical and legal nightmare
Yeah.
having students out there. Now, professionals or paying a couple traffic directors wouldn't be an awful option of someone out there with the stop sign and saying, "Hey, parents, stay here.
Yeah.
We're letting our kids out of the."
But then in the winter, it might be more challenging to get them out there.
True.
But no, that's a great idea. That's something pretty simple.
Yeah, we used to have Mintus out there. He was an assistant principal. He would be out there making sure in the morning that cars wouldn't come in the exit. Does that happen? Well, you don't know.
Not really.
Do you ever see that happening?
I'll occasionally see cars going out of the entrance
Got
when
it.
at the end of the day. But there's been a hall monitor that I've seen out there, kind of like telling people no if they're doing that. So it's pretty. It would usually be like maybe 4 cars a day,
Okay.
but I mean I don't really see it anymore since I'm busy with sports. But it's probably died down.
I think when I'm going to school, if I'm going in kind of later, usually I try to get here before 8 o'clock, and there's not as many kids, obviously. But if I'm running late and it's like 8:15 or 8:20, I always think to myself, my insurance rates are way higher because of drivers like you. Not you, but just people just are so
And that's
aggressive
true.
and don't follow
Yeah.
any of the not just written rules, but the unwritten rules of driving
The common sense.
as well,
Yeah.
the common sense things, and it's like all thrown out the window. Why don't you just leave 5 minutes earlier? That's maybe an idea.
Or do like scheduled times for people to go out and get their cars so everybody doesn't file out at once.
Also,
I heard someone talk about that, of like seniors get out first.
get out at like 3:25.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Tougher to monitor, because I guarantee there'll be some juniors that will sneak out. But then you just have like maybe like a stun gun, right? And we're out, the
But I actually
teachers
think
are out
I
there.
think seniors
and,
would police that though.
yeah,
Because if they
that's
started
true.
seeing other juniors,
Right, especially if you say,
potentially-
if this doesn't work, and if we have juniors out there trying to do this, then we're just going to make everyone wait until, because it benefits the juniors too.
Yeah.
If the seniors are already out
Right.
of the lot
Yeah.
and gone, then they don't have to wait in line for as many people.
I don't know what you do about parents though. That still doesn't really solve the parent problem, but
But
it's a-
there'd
it's a
still be
step.
less.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I think we solved all
yeah.
the
I
school's
think
problems.
we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. Our job is done here. I'm sure that the administration will be watching this podcast, and by probably by May 1st, we should see some changes.
The bridge probably being built.
Yes.
All that land bought up across the street from
Correct.
Parkside will all be bought out.
Every classroom is
Sorry.
going to be a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to have our own bathroom.
I mean, we could put porta potties out in the hallways.
Ooh,
Oh,
no.
no.
No? Okay, all right. I'm just trying to give some suggestions.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, thank you, Amelia and
Yeah.
Carly, for joining us. We'll probably have you back next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And we are going to, we're going to take a break. Actually, we're kind of done, but we have an interview with the musical people, the people that are going to be putting on the musical next week. Chicago, the teen edition, is going to be the musical for this year. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, welcome to the second part of our podcast. This is season 4, I believe, season 4, episode 2. And we have as our special guests people from our musical that will be happening very soon. Right next to me is Joe Brown. Joe, welcome.
Hello.
Gabby Striley.
Hi.
This is second time on the podcast, correct? You were
Yes.
on it last year. And Hillary Hines Hall, welcome.
Thank you.
And then Mr. Matthews is here to also ask some questions. I'm going to start with across the board here, because these are 2 students. Obviously, you are not a student,
I am not.
and you are not a teacher
I am not.
either. You have a full-time job elsewhere, and you are working as one of the main people, the main person, correct? You're like head honcho, or you co?
Yes, I'm the musical director and
Got it.
choreographer for the show.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what you do on a typical daily basis, and then as a follow-up, how you got involved in the Normal West musical?
Sure. So I'm actually a lawyer. as my regular 9 to 5. I work in Lincoln, Illinois, and I've been working in the criminal law scene since 2012, and I've been licensed as an attorney since 2017, which is kind of relevant for this year's show, which is kind of funny. And then as far as how I got connected here, I actually answered a ad I saw, or a post I saw from Mr. Johnson, the old principal. They were looking for a musical director, and I've been doing musical theater since I was a little kid, and sent him an email and just said, hey, I'd be interested. Here's my theater resume, and went and came here. And I don't, if this is 2026, I think that was 2023, maybe, for Annie, and came in and interviewed with Miss Williams and Miss Shaw. Miss Shaw's retired now, and got the job, and here I am 4 shows later.
Got it. And so first show was Annie.
Mm-hmm.
What were the next 2?
So Annie was the first show, then the next year we did Shrek, and then Hadestown Teen Edition was last year,
Got
and
it.
then this year is Chicago Teen Edition.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very cool. That sounds. I can't wait to see it because I like Chicago, the musical and the movie. So very excited. My question is to all of you, and so order is relevant, but answer however you'd like. What draws you to musical theater?
Joe, you want to start?
That's a great question. Probably just the community. I always have so much fun being involved, and it's a lot of hard work, but it's a lot of great work we're doing. It's not like I'm just doing schoolwork because I have to. It's like I want to do this. No one's forcing me to do it. And something that has really stuck by me is I was performing, I think it was Descendants, the musical, with a theater company in Washington. And my mom came and saw it, and she was like, you know, I would be really disappointed if you stopped doing theater because you look like the happiest when you're on stage. And I always think about that, and you're just a completely different person, like, on stage. It's so much fun. Like, I'm not a student. When I'm on stage, I'm, like, whatever character I'm playing, and it's something with acting, you get to be someone you would never get to be, and it's so much fun.
That's a great answer.
For me, theater just is really addicting for me. I started it like 8 years ago or so, and every show is a new experience. It's different people, it's different direction, it's different dances, different blocking. Like, it's always new and constantly changing, which is why I find it like so addicting to come back to it, because every show is what you make it. And I feel like for me, I look forward to the new opportunities that I can get, and also enjoying my time with the people in the cast.
And like I said, I've been doing theater since I was little bitty, and it's the storytelling, the music, the dancing, just doing everything. But as Joe was saying, just the community and the friendships I've built over the years, that's something, I know they're a little young, but they will see my very best friends I've met in community theater as an adult. Some of them I grew up in high school with, but they just know the love of theater, and I just love the performances. I love directing and choreographing and getting to see, especially my seniors this year, they were freshmen for Annie. So just seeing them grow up and just seeing them light up on the stage, it's just something you can't really describe, but it's just a great feeling, and it's just a warm, welcoming place that I just always find in community theater. So I've just always loved it.
Yeah, 100%. It's everyone that I know that is involved in theater says the same thing. It's the community, it's the people, and the fact that you're putting something on together. It's 100%.
I know you guys don't really know me very well. You know me a little bit, and you obviously know me, but theater was one of my favorite classes I took in college. I took actually 2 theater classes, but the second one I really got to do a lot of acting, and it was a lot of fun. And then I was actually part of West Side Story 25, maybe 30 years ago at Normal West, and I got to be Officer Krupke in the West Side Story, and Tom Eater was Lieutenant Schrank, who was our principal at the time. And it was one of the best experiences I've had in the 31 years of being a teacher here. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it is what you make of it, and it's new and it's fresh, and every opportunity is a new opportunity. So I definitely see why you guys enjoy it. Next question. What's your role in the production of Chicago? So why don't you start, Joe?
I am the student director. I am also playing Hunyak.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that character and what you enjoy about playing that character?
Yeah, so Hunyak is one of the cell block girls. She is the Hungarian woman, and she is the only, out of all of the 6 cell block girls, she's the only innocent one. She doesn't know much English, and she can't really understand it. The only English word she knows how to say is not guilty.
Okay. And can you do that with your Hungarian accent for us? Am I putting you on the spot?
I can say it how I do it in the show. I just say, not guilty.
Perfect.
So she's just she's
Although I don't know if that's good Hungarian or not, because I'm not around a lot of Hungarian people.
Yeah.
But it sounded great.
Thank you.
Okay. So those are your words, not guilty.
Yeah, I also speak, she has a monologue that's fully in Hungarian. So I do speak Hungarian in the show.
Wow. And how long did that take? Or is that still a work in process?
Honestly, it didn't take me as long as I thought it would. It's mostly just remembering how the words are pronounced. And even acting wise, you think because it's in a different language, it's hard to act it, which it does make it harder sometimes, but just remembering, I know the translation of it, and just remembering that and does really help.
And I guess the good thing is no one's going to know if you mess it up. So, Gabby.
Yes, I play Velma Kelly. She is one of a few leads in the show. Basically, her story is she walked in on her husband and sister being a little scandalous and allegedly shot them. So that's why she's in jail.
Right.
She was a vaudeville performer, now a alleged criminal. And the other lead, Roxy, comes and starts taking her spotlight away, and she gets upset about that. But that's she's just kind of a little snooty about it. But
Is this your 4th year in musicals?
yes.
How would you rank this character compared to the other ones that you've had in the musicals?
I feel like every show is different, so I she's one of my favorites. She's up there. It's just fun because she's she's a character that I've been given the most information by the text, so I can take that information and apply it to myself while also putting my own spin on it, which is kind of cool compared to the other characters I've had. I've kind of made it all up myself.
Good, and obviously you don't have a specific role, but what do you do on a daily and weekly basis to make sure that the production is going to be a great production?
So that's kind of a difficult task. So I usually have the show now picked out about a year in advance, sometimes longer, depending on how or what's going on. This show, I typically kind of look at who I think is going to be around as far as my seniors. The first couple of years, not so much, because I was still learning the program, learning the school, learning more about my students. But this year, I knew who my seniors were going to be, their strengths, and just kind of what story I really thought they'd do a really good job of telling. So I've had this idea of doing Chicago for my more of my senior girls for a while. So I've been planning this for a while, but for a long time my process starts off of just kind of listening to the music and just thinking kind of choreography, kind of thinking it in my mind. One of my best friends, she's a theater person. Sam, she's also a musical director down south where I'm originally from. So I talked to her a lot about kind of my ideas, and just it's a very long process. And then once I get the script and I really start looking at stuff, I can kind of start like blocking and motivation, but really the magic starts happening once we know who the cast is. And that we did casting in December, and then because you can start then planning more so of what we want to work on. We'll meet, start talking about character motivation, all of that, start the blocking, start the choreography, and then just kind of keep going from there. But with that too, you have to start the scheduling process so the students have time to learn everything and keep going on. So it's a very long process as a director. But again, I love doing it because when we start from our first meet and greet kind of in January to now is just, if we had like a reality show camera crew, it would just be amazing to see the progression and how great.
Maybe you should.
Next year. But yeah, so it's a long process, but it's really awesome. But you got to put in the time and thought just so the kids can come in. But they put in so much work. They put in so much research and effort, and they take my motivation and my thoughts, and they come up with their own just motivation and put in the time. So that's really also where the magic comes from, is them putting in their own work.
For sure. I'm curious, when you have picked out a play like Chicago that for folks our age, I'm lumping us all kind of in together here,
Sure.
but was such a hit, right? Like it was a huge musical, Oscar award-winning movie. What differences and similarities can people that are coming to this show expect from what they might be familiar with? Or if someone's coming in totally fresh, what can they expect with this program?
Sure. So the movie came out when I was a freshman in high school. And I had heard the music before then, just because, again, being a musical theater person. So I've known this music. I've told the kids a million times. I said it's hard for me because I've known this music for 20 plus years. So I'm really familiar with it. The biggest difference between when you look at the movie versus the stage production, even just the professional stage production, is you don't have the big glamorous movie with the big fancy costumes and everything. It's more of like a black box, which is a theater term for more just kind of stripped down set and costumes. Costumes are traditionally all black. You don't have a lot of big fancy, you don't have a lot of like special effects and all of that. You don't have the big fancy costumes you see in the movies or in the movie with all of that. So if you've never seen the stage production of Chicago, it's not as big of a spectacle as the movie. So that's the biggest thing to know the difference of. But it's its own special just creation that started. It was originally written in the 70s. It was revived in the 90s, and it's been on Broadway. It's one of the longest running Broadway musicals of all time. It's still one of the highest selling Broadway musicals of all time, probably because of the production quality, cost, but it's very similar. The story's the very same. The one thing I will say, this is the teen edition, they do a really good job of keeping the story true, but also taking out kind of the adult content that some people might be concerned about our high schoolers performing. So that's the one thing I'll look with the caveat of that is the teen edition does a good job of making it appropriate for teens to perform, but keeping true to that.
Cool. I can't wait to see it. I love going to the musical. It's one of my favorite things about the school year. I look forward to it every year, and I bring my kids. I'm very excited.
Excellent. So I don't know how long it's been. We try to keep these down to a reasonable level, but one of the most important things to talk to our audience about is when is it, what times are the shows, and of course, how can they get tickets?
The shows are next weekend. I don't know when this is coming out, but it's April.
It'll be out hopefully by the end of this week, if not Monday.
So it'll be April 24th through the 26th. We have 3 main cast shows, 7 p.m. Friday, 7 p.m. Saturday, and then 2 p.m. on Sunday. And Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, we have our understudy show. Both casts are amazing, so come to both if you want. And tickets, you can find the link on our Normal West Theater social medias. The Instagram is NCWHS Theater. The name of the account is one of them is ER and one of them is RE, so you can look for either.
Okay.
And then it is also on the Facebook page, I believe. And you can you get tickets at the door?
Yeah, there should be tickets available at the door, and Eventbrite is the ticket company we use. You should be able to Google or search within that Normal West High School, and it'll have the 4 different shows pop up. And the one thing I, real quick to plug, is this is also the 30th musical at Normal West, the 30th year. So we do have special...
Why were we missing 1 year? COVID.
Yes. So there, we do have a special alumni tickets that you can reserve. They're $10 per alumni. We're just asking, there's a form you can fill out, and that link is on all of our social media. So if you are alumni for cast, crew, or orchestra for any musical ever at Normal West, which you are, so you should fill out that form and come.
I guess that's a good point.
So we wanted to plug that last minute. So it's something we want to be able to recognize our alumni when they're at the show, and we'll have a little gift extra for alumni. They just need to fill out that form so we know when they're coming and make sure we have seats reserved for them, and those will be $10 each.
Okay. Excellent. It sounds like a great opportunity and a good show. Let's wrap it up with favorite part of the show. Without giving too much away, but just your favorite part.
Give us a little tease.
I think Cell Block Tango. I might be biased because I'm in it, but I think Cell Block Tango is a really great part of the show.
Okay. Looking forward to that then.
Yes.
I also like Cell Block Tango, but to be different, the courtroom scene is at the end of the show. I think it's coming along really well, and it's really funny. And I'm not in that one, so objectively, it's a really good part.
Okay, I just have to ask a sub-question. So you're not part of that scene.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Like, can you watch from the side?
I am watching in the wings because I do it in the understudy show.
Okay.
So I have to make sure I know where my understudy is to take over her part.
Got it. Okay. And you got to have a favorite.
So I've told the kids lots, but one of my favorite musical theater scenes of all time that I think is one of the funniest scenes ever written is the courtroom scene. It is just very well done. It's so funny. The juror is probably my favorite character in the whole show, just because it is just so obnoxious. Like, it's just, the show is just satire and funny, and there's so many great parts. But the courtroom scene, when it comes together and the pacing, it's just great. So that's my favorite part as well.
Great.
Good.
Can't wait. Go see the show.
Yes,
Please.
please. Support them, and they work hard. I
They
know.
work so hard.
You know, from my standpoint, when I was involved in it, it was a smaller part. Like Officer Krupke and Lieutenant Schrenk were not huge parts, but they were integral, and that was a lot of work. And so to be a main part of it and to be there all the time as a support person takes a tremendous amount of work. And we've always had a very strong theater department and for both musicals and our plays. So I think I probably speak on behalf of really all of our staff. We're really proud of the work that you put in and the output that you guys produce as well. So, and we should probably say one last thing. Break a leg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see it. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.